welcome to this deep dive.
Okay.
And today we're going to explore something pretty awesome. The connection between personal growth and crushing it in your career.
Yes.
So it's not just about climbing the ladder.
Right.
You know, it's about becoming a better, more well-rounded you.
Absolutely.
And that, my friend, is what unlocks some serious professional magic.
Yeah.
And we are going to dig into all of this.
Okay.
Using why personal growth is key to professional success as our guide.
Love that.
Get ready for some aha moments.
Okay.
We'll be uncovering gems about Steve Jobs' path to success,
Oh, wow.
the power of a growth mindset,
Yes.
and how self-awareness is like having a GPS for your career.
I like that GPS for your career.
Yeah.
It's funny, isn't it? We often box professional success into this image of promotions and corner offices when it's so much more than that.
Totally.
Yeah.
So before we get ahead of ourselves,
Okay.
let's define what we actually mean by personal growth. It's more than just picking up a new hobby.
Right.
It's about constantly learning, expanding your skill set, and even challenging your own perspectives
Yeah.
to become a better version of yourself.
Think of it as evolving.
Oh, I like that.
Always striving to improve and grow.
And while we're at it,
Okay.
let's redefine professional success too.
Sure.
It's not just about the money
Right.
or the fancy title, right?
Definitely not.
Yeah.
It's about feeling fulfilled by the work you do, knowing you're making a real contribution and having opportunities to constantly learn and grow.
Yeah.
Ultimately, it's about finding that sweet spot where who you are
Yeah.
aligns with what you do professionally.
Which brings us to our first big takeaway from the source, self-awareness.
Oh,
It's like having a superpower in the workplace.
absolutely. So self-awareness is about understanding your strengths and weaknesses. It's about knowing what truly motivates you
Okay.
and what makes you want to run for the hills. This level of self-understanding
Okay.
allows you to make career choices that actually fit,
Right.
rather than just chasing what looks good on paper.
So true.
Yeah.
Think Steve Jobs.
Oh, yeah.
The source talks about how his deep passion
Yes.
for design and technology shaped Apple's entire DNA.
Absolutely.
He didn't just stumble into success.
No.
He built a career fueled by his passion.
That's it.
And that's the point.
Yeah.
When your career aligns with your natural strengths and interests, you're more likely to find both success and fulfillment.
That's the key. It's about playing to your strengths.
But self-awareness is just the starting point, right?
Right.
The source emphasizes the importance of emotional intelligence, or EQ,
Okay.
as a major player in career success.
Yeah.
What's fascinating is how EQ impacts so much more
Totally.
than just your personal life.
That's right. EQ isn't just a buzzword.
Right.
It's crucial for navigating the complexities of the workplace. It's about understanding and managing your own emotions while also being in tune with the emotions of those around you.
So it's not about being touchy-feely.
Right.
It's about using emotional intelligence as a tool to build stronger relationships, manage teams effectively, and even navigate conflict productively.
Think about the best leaders you've encountered.
Oh, yeah.
Chances are they possess a high level of EQ. They can inspire and motivate their teams, build trust, and create a positive and productive work environment.
They just get it.
Yeah.
You know, they understand people, not just tasks.
And those leadership qualities are directly tied to higher levels of emotional intelligence.
Okay.
It's the secret sauce for effective leadership.
Okay, so we've got self-awareness and EQ down.
Got it.
Now let's talk about something the source emphasizes quite a bit, lifelong learning.
Yeah.
And it can feel a little daunting, like we're constantly expected to be hitting the books. What does lifelong learning really look like in the context of a career?
Here's the thing. Industries are evolving at an incredible pace.
Oh, yeah.
What's in demand today might be obsolete tomorrow.
Oh, wow.
Just look at how social media has revolutionized marketing. Or how artificial intelligence is transforming entire industries.
You're right. It feels like everything is changing at warp speed these days.
Lifelong learning isn't just about formal degrees or certifications. It's about having that curious mindset, that willingness to constantly learn new things and being adaptable to whatever changes come your way.
So it's less about, I need another degree.
Right.
And more about having an always be learning attitude.
Exactly. By embracing lifelong learning, You ensure you're prepared for the evolving landscape of your career and that you can continue to grow and contribute in meaningful ways.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we've talked about lifelong learning, self-awareness EQ.
Yes.
What's next?
All right. So that adaptability you mentioned is a perfect segue to our next point.
Right.
The source highlights the importance of adaptability and resilience as key ingredients for success in any career.
It makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Career paths aren't always linear.
No.
There are bound to be unexpected detours, challenges, maybe even some flat-out failures along the way.
Absolutely. It's inevitable.
Right.
But it's not about avoiding these bumps in the road.
Right.
It's about how you respond to them.
Okay.
That's where resilience comes in.
Okay.
It's about having that inner strength to bounce back from setbacks and keep moving forward.
So resilience is kind of like having emotional shock absorbers.
Exactly.
Helping you navigate those tough situations without falling apart.
And while resilience is about bouncing back, adaptability is about being flexible and willing to adjust your approach when needed. Think of it as being able to pivot and find creative solutions when things don't go according to plan.
The source mentions some pretty impressive examples.
Oh, yeah.
Of leaders who actually transformed failures into huge successes. Any that stand out to you?
Oh, there are so many great examples.
Okay.
Think about someone like J.K. Rowling.
Oh, yeah.
Before Harry Potter became a global phenomenon, her manuscript was rejected by numerous publishers.
Wow.
Instead of giving up, she persisted, adapted her approach, and eventually found a publisher who believed in her story.
It's easy to look at success stories and think, oh, they just got lucky.
Right.
But there's often so much resilience and adaptability behind the scenes.
Absolutely.
Pushing through those rejections and setbacks.
Yeah.
It's inspiring.
It is.
But let's be honest, it can feel intimidating too.
It's true. Building resilience and adaptability takes effort.
Right.
But remember, these are skills you can develop over time.
Okay.
It's about reframing challenges as opportunities for growth.
Yeah.
And learning from your experiences, both the successes and the setbacks.
So we've tackled self-awareness, EQ, lifelong learning, and resilience. Now the source dives into something that can make even the most seasoned professional a little nervous.
Oh.
Taking initiative.
Okay.
What are some practical ways we can boost our confidence?
Yeah.
To step outside of our comfort zones and really take charge of our careers?
Here's the thing about confidence.
Okay.
It often grows from taking action. You don't need to have it all figured out before you start.
Right.
You build it along the way.
So it's less about feeling confident and more about doing things that make you feel more confident.
Exactly.
Okay.
The source emphasizes the importance of being willing to try new things, even if they feel a little scary at first.
Okay.
Stepping outside of your comfort zone is where the real growth happens.
But that leap can feel so daunting.
Sure.
What advice do you have for those of us who struggle with that initial jump?
Start small.
Okay.
Look for opportunities within your current role to take on new responsibilities. Volunteer for a project. Okay.
Or even just speak up more in meetings.
It's about building those confidence muscles gradually through consistent action.
Think about it this way.
Okay.
Every time you push yourself outside of your comfort zone, you're expanding your skill set, gaining valuable experience.
Right.
And proving to yourself that you're capable of more than you thought.
Oh, okay. That's actually a really helpful way to reframe it.
Yeah.
Focusing on those small wins and celebrating those moments of courage.
And remember, you don't have to do it alone.
Okay.
Seek out mentors or colleagues who can offer support and guidance as you navigate new challenges. Having a support system can make a huge difference.
Speaking of connecting with others, the source also delves into networking.
Okay.
This is something I know a lot of people have a bit of a love-hate relationship with.
I get it.
Right.
Networking can feel awkward or even inauthentic.
Right.
Especially if you approach it with the mindset of, what can I get out of this person?
Yeah.
But here's the key shift. Your focus from transactional interactions.
Okay.
To building genuine relationships.
So it's less about collecting business cards.
Yes.
And more about making real connections with people.
Exactly. And the foundation of any strong relationship is communication.
Right.
This is another point the source highlights.
Yeah, because what good is a brilliant idea if you can't communicate it effectively?
Being able to clearly articulate your thoughts, ideas, and vision is crucial for making an impact, influencing decisions, and advancing your career.
It's about more than just speaking clearly, right?
Yeah.
It's about active listening, understanding different perspectives, and knowing how to tailor your communication style to different audiences.
All of those nuances play a role in effective communication.
Right.
And it's a skill you can develop over time with practice and conscious effort.
Okay.
Think about it this way.
Yeah.
Strong communication skills empower you to build trust, inspire action,
Right.
and create positive change within your workplace.
Okay, so we've talked about the importance of taking initiative and building strong communication skills.
Yeah.
Now let's dive into something that's often touted as the cornerstone of personal and professional growth.
Okay.
Goal setting.
Right.
The source emphasizes that setting clear goals is essential for providing direction and focus to your efforts.
Right.
But it's not just about setting any goal.
Right.
It's about setting the right goals.
And that's where the source's emphasis on SMART goals comes in.
Okay.
This framework is something I've heard mentioned before.
Yeah.
But I'll admit, I need a refresher on what makes a goal truly SMART.
Okay. I'm ready to take notes.
SMART stands for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound.
Right.
Let's break that down a bit.
Okay.
Instead of saying, I want to be more successful, a SMART goal might be, I want to secure a promotion to senior marketing manager within the next 2 years.
Right.
See how that's much more specific and measurable.
It's like having a roadmap, right?
Exactly.
You know exactly where you're headed and how you'll track your progress.
And by ensuring your goals are achievable and relevant to your overall career aspirations, you're more likely to stay motivated and committed to reaching them.
The time-bound aspect is crucial too.
Absolutely.
It adds a sense of urgency and helps you prioritize your efforts.
Having those deadlines in place helps you break down larger goals into smaller, more manageable steps, which can make the whole process feel less overwhelming.
It's like those marathon runners who focus on reaching the next mile marker rather than getting fixated on the finish line miles away.
Right.
It makes the challenge feel more attainable.
Now let's shift gears to something the source refers to as a growth mindset.
Yeah.
It's not enough to just set goals.
Right.
You also need the right mindset to achieve them.
So it's about more than just what you're doing.
Yes.
It's about how you're thinking about the process.
Precisely. The source highlights Carol Dweck's work on growth mindset, which is the belief that your abilities and intelligence aren't fixed,
Okay.
but rather they can be developed through effort, learning, and persistence.
It's like that saying, whether you think you can or think you can't. You're right.
Exactly.
Your mindset shapes your reality.
Instead of saying, I'm just not a math person,
Right.
a growth mindset would encourage you to say, I'm going to work hard to improve my math skills.
So embracing challenges rather than shying away from them becomes a key part of the growth process.
Absolutely. And when you inevitably encounter setbacks, a growth mindset helps you reframe those experiences as valuable feedback rather than personal failures.
Speaking of feedback, the source emphasizes its importance for personal and professional growth.
Yeah.
But let's be honest, feedback can sometimes feel a bit tough to swallow,
Right.
even when it's well-intentioned.
I agree.
How can we shift our perspective to see feedback as a gift rather than a criticism?
It's all about reframing. Instead of seeing feedback as someone pointing out your flaws,
Okay.
try to view it as an opportunity to learn and improve.
Okay.
Think of it as having a personal coach who is invested in your growth and who can offer insights you might not be able to see on your own.
So instead of getting defensive or feeling discouraged, we should approach feedback with curiosity
Yes.
and a desire to understand how we can use it to level up our game.
Exactly. And feedback isn't a one-time thing, right?
Right.
It's something you should be actively seeking out throughout your career.
Whether it's from your boss, your colleagues, or even mentors outside of your organization, feedback provides valuable perspectives and helps you stay on track with your growth.
The source encourages you to view feedback as a compass,
Well, I like that.
guiding you toward improvement and helping you navigate the complexities of your career journey.
Okay, so we've covered so much ground in this deep dive.
We have.
It's clear that personal growth is essential for anyone who wants to thrive in their career.
Absolutely.
But as we wrap up,
Okay.
I want to address the elephant in the room.
Yeah.
How do we actually make time for personal growth amidst all of our other responsibilities?
Yeah.
It can feel like there are just not enough hours in the day.
You're right. That's a common challenge. We're all busy. But the source makes a really important point. Personal growth doesn't need to be this huge separate thing that you have to carve out hours for each week.
So instead of thinking, I need to block off an hour every day for personal development,
Right.
it's more about finding those smaller pockets of time throughout the day.
Exactly. Can you listen to a podcast during your commute?
Okay.
Can you read an industry article during your lunch break?
Yeah.
Even those small moments can add up over time.
And it can be as simple as choosing to have a conversation with a colleague from a different department to gain a new perspective.
Yes.
Or volunteering for a project that stretches your skills.
The key is to be intentional and to look for those opportunities to integrate personal growth into your everyday life.
Okay, so we've talked about strategies for making time for growth, but even with the best intentions, there are always those inner voices that can hold us back.
Absolutely.
The source calls these out as barriers to personal growth. And let's be honest, we all have them.
One of the biggest barriers, and one that the source mentions specifically, is fear of failure. It can be so paralyzing, preventing us from taking risks and putting ourselves out there.
It's that feeling of, what if I try this and it doesn't work out?
Right.
Or what if I make a mistake and everyone judges me?
It's so common, but here's the thing. Failure is an inevitable part of the growth process.
Okay.
Think about any successful person you admire. Chances are they've experienced their fair share of setbacks and failures along the way.
It's like that saying, you can't succeed without failing.
And even more importantly, you can't learn and grow without failing.
Right.
It's those moments of failure that teach us the most valuable lessons and help us refine our approach.
So instead of fearing failure, we should almost embrace it as an opportunity to learn and improve.
Exactly. The source encourages you to reframe failure as a learning experience rather than a personal defeat.
Okay.
Ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can I adjust my approach next time?
And beyond fear of failure, the source also calls out complacency as a major barrier to growth.
Complacency is that feeling of being stuck in a rut, of getting too comfortable with the status quo and losing that drive to learn and grow. It can happen to anyone at any stage of their career.
So how do we avoid falling into that complacency trap?
Right.
How do we keep that spark of ambition and that desire for growth alive?
It's all about staying curious, constantly seeking out new challenges, and being willing to step outside of your comfort zone.
Okay.
The source emphasizes the importance of regular self-reflection. Ask yourself those tough questions. Am I still passionate about what I'm doing? What are my goals, and am I still moving towards them?
Yeah.
What new skills or knowledge do I need to acquire to stay ahead of the curve?
It's about being proactive and taking ownership of your own growth rather than just passively going through the motions.
Exactly. And remember, personal growth isn't just about advancing your career. It's about becoming a more well-rounded, fulfilled, and interesting person. And that in itself is a pretty amazing goal to strive for.
It's like this incredible ripple effect, right? The more you invest in your personal growth, the more you bring to the table in your career, and the more fulfilling and impactful your life becomes.
Precisely. It's a journey worth embarking on.
As we wrap up this deep dive, I want to leave you with a thought-provoking question. Think about your current job and ask yourself, what's one thing I can change, either about myself or how I approach my work, that would make a positive impact on both my personal growth and my professional success?
Remember, growth is an ongoing process. Embrace the journey, stay curious, and never stop learning.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. We'll see you next time.